training through the menstrual cycle. Women's exercise physiology is most like a man's when they're on their period and just after, during the follicular phase. This makes women stronger, they recover faster, and they actually feel less pain during this time. So this is such a good opportunity to make sure that we harness this time when we're going through this phase. A recent study has been done showing that women make greater strength gains and we produce more force during this time in your lower hormone phase, so the follicular phase. So what does this look like if we break it down in weeks? Week 1 and 2 is the power and high intensity phase. This is my favorite phase. So you can push hard here. Basically, there's a couple of options you can do. With cardio, you want to be training 1 to 2 times a week, but you want true high intensity. A lot of people talk about high intensity and they do Tabatas, so they do 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 8 rounds. That isn't pushing yourself pretty hard. So true high intensity is where we're looking to get to 90% and you're kind of maxing out. So you want to be doing 1 or 2 of these a week. EMOMs are really good, every minute on the minute. So you can work through these as hard as you can, sort of between 1 to 3 minutes, and you can spike the heart rate. The other side of the coin here is that we need a longer recovery to be able to refuel the ATP. So longer recovery, but you can push pretty hard during the cardio section. Another thing we need to be aware of is to increase their carb intake, obviously for glycogen stores. So be mindful of this, and it's something that maybe you could tell them after their session. Also during these 2 weeks, what we want to do is go through heavy resistance training, and again it just plays into that high intensity. So you're looking at around 2 to 3 sessions a week of your compound movements, if that's what you're working on with your client. 1 session of Olympic lifting, if that's what you're working with. And then you've also got your total body workouts. Okay, so again, these 2 weeks, they're kind of like your superpower weeks. If you know that your client, if you know what stage she's in and it's just after her period or in her follicular phase, you can push hard because she's got heaps of energy and she's feeling good to go. Then we start to tap into week 3, the aerobic phase. So moderate intensity is kind of suggested here. Your hormones are starting to shift. This is also when you ovulate. So just working through kind of 4 sets, 8 to 10 reps with moderate intensity. In terms of your cardio, you want to dial it back a little bit and start to do some steady state work. Endurance is still key, but this week we're just looking to have that real aerobic focus. Eat more protein, way to go. So this is going to actually help with PMS symptoms. Again, just knowing this stuff might be able to help a little bit and help your client perform better during this time. Then we get to week 4. So this is a perfect opportunity to start deloading and upskilling. It's around about 5 days before a woman's period, generally speaking, but we can really use this time to focus on technique, potentially under the bar. You could work through mobility or flexibility. And it's also a really perfect week if you need to go see a physio or get a sports massage. This is the week to do it. The reason we have this week just before our period is hormones, as you've seen previously, are all over the show. So immunity is lower. Our bodies are now moving into a more inflammatory state. And your PMS, your premenstrual symptoms, start to flare up 5 days before your period too. So if you know this information, you can train your client more efficiently, be more mindful of the situation that she's in this week to get the best out of them. This also allows us to feed forward into the next week. So after they've had their period, they're going to hit the high intensities again. So it feeds forward. So they'll be able to lift more, hopefully, fingers crossed, go faster and be more agile. Couple of little bullet points here to note. So just in terms of hydration, it plays a massive role with being able to support our uterus during menstruation. So if you can, see if we can just maybe get a little bit more hydration in there, or just make sure that your client's aware of how much they're drinking and see if we can increase that. The other little superstar there is zinc. So zinc helps reduce the severity of pain, cramping and bleeding. So if they're not aware of it or they're not taking a supplement, this could be an opportunity to mention that.